Warning. The following program is a duo of white guys with a podcast talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, the MOZOS, or the Lubbock Matadors. There may be some cuss words because these dudes are in their 20s. If you're a Mozito, please seek permission before watching any further. Say the line, Caleb.
He's walking back to the camera.
Say the line, Caleb.
He's got to do it every podcast.
Every pod.
We haven't learned how to hit like a start button from over
Well,
here.
I could do it on my pedal, but I think it's just more authentic for me to come back here.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Authenticity.
That's what we strive for here.
We strive for honor. We strive for authenticity.
For all the bullshit we bring to this podcast.
Correct.
You know.
Curse word in the first. Actually, no, it's fine because YouTube is fine with that now.
Is it?
Yeah, you used to like be demonetized if you cursed within like the first like 10, 20 seconds, I want to say, of a YouTube video, and now they're fine with it.
Well, we're gonna have that buffer there, so we just extend the buffer.
Also, we're not monetized yet. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube so we get monetized.
I need money.
We need money. We need money for all of our stuff.
You want smoke?
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Offseason podcast. We've got a very, very fun episode here. I'm Dylan Wynn. That's Caleb Lester. Caleb, how has your day been so far today?
Too busy.
Too busy.
I woke up at 6 a.m. because I had to go to work, and then I had to go to school, and then I had to do extra school things. And now I'm in Dylan Wynn's lovely house.
Beautiful.
And I have a pool tournament tonight.
Yes. Where's your pool tournament?
It's at Crickets.
Let's go Crickets. We love Crickets. Fans of the show.
Fans of the show. Fans of the liquor pitchers.
We are fans of the liquor pitchers. We are fans of the liquor pitchers there. Oh. Exactly. And my day was pretty okay. I mean, I went out to Raiderville today. Talk with some friends there. So after this, I have to go grab some pizza for them, take it down there, and some waters and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're just keeping going. We're counting down the days to game day here in Lubbock, Texas. So it's going to be a big one. We're going to talk about that later on. But first things first, we got a very, very special guest here. We got Chrissao of Talkin USL to you. How you doing, Chris?
Hello, I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Excited to be on here. I had a pretty normal day, all things considered. Went to work, put in my 8 hours, got back, and ate and hopped on here. So I'm excited to talk about USL to you.
What'd you eat?
You did say you were going to eat.
Here.
What did you eat?
We had some. I mean, we just got like the little Tyson chicken strips. We made that, and then we had some leftover cheese ravioli, and then we just made some pasta sauce, and we just threw all that in a bowl.
Oh,
those are the best ones. There's stuff you could just.
It's better than
a
cold can of spaghetti
awesome.
as I had before I went back to school.
I had a grilled cheese. But on sourdough. On sourdough.
I didn't know you were in that tax bracket.
Well, you can get pretty cheap sourdough.
Fancy over here.
Walmart. You get pretty cheap sourdough at Walmart, especially the bakery stuff. The bakery stuff's surprisingly affordable.
There you go.
Surprisingly affordable. Well, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how. And we're joining your league this season, and the fans would like to know more. What do you do?
So I do two things mainly when it comes to USL 2. I do Talkin USL to you, which during the season is a bi-weekly, so twice a week, podcast that will cover just about every division. Not just about every division. It will go over every division. It's kind of a macro view of it. So what are the current standings? What are some interesting results that happened? What are some games to watch out for going forward? What's the playoff push looking like? And towards the end of that, I connected to the other thing I do, which you mentioned last week, elimination charts. And so what elimination charts is exactly is that in the amateur leagues, you'll have a league like USL 2 that's 143 teams, but then only 35 get to playoffs. That's not very many. So mathematically, it's a lot easier to try and figure out how close a team is to being eliminated than they are to qualifying for playoffs. And so that's what elimination charts is. It's a little formula that says this is how close they are to being eliminated. This is how close they are from winning close to being eliminated from winning their division. And then sometimes, if necessary, I'll also have one for how close they are to being eliminated from wild card. So that's what it is. It's how close they are to being eliminated for their league. If that league tells us their playoff format straightforward.
Yeah, which most leagues don't until like a month out or even 3 weeks out.
Well, sometimes USL2 this year, they'll tell us the format in such a vague way that whenever we actually learn what it is, a lot of people get pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but long story short, Central Conference, they said 5 division winners, 3 runners up. So everybody thought, okay, the 3 best runners up. No, they handpicked 3 divisions to get 2 bids.
That's fun. That's fun. Okay, what?
And we didn't know that until Peoria City. This is nothing against Peoria City. We love Peoria City. At least I do. Great people, great fans. Immediately grabbed onto the team. They average multiple thousand. Anyway, but Peoria City, they're like, hey, we qualified. And everybody's like, hey, you're last place in points per game for runners-up? So yeah, that was a whole debacle that USL2 did this year. Really hope they don't do that because that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And especially with your elimination charts, that's very helpful for us as fans to know, are we close enough to be able to make it into playoffs? What else do we need to do? Because I know especially around halfway into the season, fans start asking like, okay, are we cooked? Are we good?
Yeah.
Where are we going in the playoffs? I know like this past NPSL season, we were already asking like, okay, how many wins do we need to get? We were making graphics up until like the last 3 games of the season of like, okay, these teams need to win. These teams are already eliminated. This is what needs to happen. We had a whole bunch of these scenes and all that. So having that is an awesome resource.
It was actually kind of funny because I remember specifically with Peoria City in the USL2 Discord that I think I invited both of y'all, and I think you both joined.
Yes.
But in there's quite a few fans of Peoria City, and I would put out my elimination charts, and especially like at the very end, like whenever there's only 2 games left, I had Peoria City essentially eliminated. Like they needed to win both of their games, and they needed help. And somebody's like, "Hey, I just talked with the owner of the team, and he said if they just need a draw." And they like a lot of them trusted me just as much, if not more, than they trusted the owner.
Yeah.
The words from the mouth of the owner, because over the past few years, I have built up that like, hey, if this team wins, they're in, and then that team wins 5 minutes later, USL2, hey, these people make playoffs, and so I've built up that trust, and then USL2 this year went, oh, by the way, we're just gonna not put out the playoff format.
Oops.
Oopsies.
All
That really
berries.
pissed me off.
Oops.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't do that again. Hopefully
Yeah.
they learn from their mistakes, because this is not the league that it was in 2019 whenever it changed from USL2, where there's a couple hundred people that give a crap. There's many thousands across the country that give a crap. So
Which is why
many
we're
thousands
excited.
that care in Lubbock.
Yeah, in Lubbock, exactly. There's many thousands that care here. There's many thousands that care at multiple of these clubs all across this great country. That's why we're excited to be here, because there were zero NPSL creators that we could collaborate with, so we kind of just did our own thing. And now that we're here in USL2, we got your contact. We know of like at least 2 other content creators that do stuff around this league. So it's very exciting content-wise for us to be able to plug into that and get more stuff going, which leads into my next question. Why are you a fan of USL2?
So it kind of goes back to 2022 in February, I believe, or January, I think it was. A USL2 team was announced for Baton Rouge, which is where I'm from. And while that team was only here for about 2 years, it was pretty dog water for those 2 years. Never came even close to playoffs. It still got me into the league, and it's a league where you have teams. I mean, there's a team up in Maple Valley, Washington, which is a town of like 10,000 people, that has a team, Bigfoot FC. You have all these towns that people don't really think of, that people don't really know because they don't have professional teams or they don't have even minor league teams, but they can have a USL2 team.
Yeah.
And USL2 connects up with League One in the championship, not really in promotion relegation, but in that grand USL pyramid. And so because of that, I just really started to love it. I started to love, I started to see and meet and talk to all these other people, all these people that care, all these content creators for, Des Moines, Peoria, Ballard, Flint City is a long-standing one. And there was just so many people that cared, and it just made me care. Even if my team sucked, it meant that I could care about the rest of the league. And then that's what I just kind of did with elimination charts, which eventually led to Talkin USL to you.
Beautiful.
I about to say, I think that's like the biggest switch between us coming into the NPSL. I mean, we maybe had, because when, excuse me, I always try to say Appalachians, Indianapolis.
Annapolis, yeah.
Indianapolis, they were the only team in the league that kind of like equaled our care factor. And of course, we're under the same owner in Hitch.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, they didn't really have anything like that yet because they were so young. So when we started doing this podcast, we're like, oh, who could reach out and talk to? And we went and looked, and there was nothing. Like, I think the only other podcast that was about a NPSL team was West Texas FC, which, not saying they did, they started it because we started one.
Yeah, and we don't want to keep talking with them about their stuff on their podcast. They're our rival podcast. I think we should both be talking smack to one another more than collaborating with one another. That's just how team podcasts are. But Bigfoot FC, I would like to see if Appalachian FC comes up, that'd be an epic matchup. Who's the real Bigfoot? Who's the real Sasquatch? Kind of matchup there.
I've kind of joked with some other people about it. We need to get those two and McKinney Chupacabras and Sharktopus.
Yes.
And all those, and just have a cryptid cup.
The cryptid
just have
cup.
a cryptid cup with all of those. Denton Diablos maybe fall into that.
Maybe they're more I feel like they're more like religious. Or,
See, we need a Diablos versus some of those Christian all-star teams.
Yes,
and just
oh my gosh,
that would be fun. That would be fun.
Denton versus Bria in the playoffs would go kind of funny.
Yeah.
Denton versus Bria in the playoffs would be dope. So the biggest question, I think you also said this before as well, especially when it comes to the pyramid, but what makes USL 2 unique compared to like the League for Clubs or the NPSL, UPSL, NISA, all these other amateur leagues around the country? What makes USL 2 unique in their own right?
So since 2022, I've spent far too much time learning about the amateur leagues. And at a certain point, I kind of realized that previously Big 3, now with TLFC, it's kind of 3.5. But the UPSL, NPSL, and USL2 all kind of served a different niche.
Mm-hmm.
And USL2, especially whenever it changed its name from PDL to USL2, served this niche of, as they call it, pre-professional. This is a stage where anyone, from players to referees to fans to front offices to staff to organizations as a whole, everything, they can take in the summer league format and the summer league money, they can take that and act as if they are a professional team. They can have their own commentators, they can have their own camera crew, they can, do their own housing and professionalism. And so it's just, that's kind of the main thing about USL2. And obviously how much they're successful at it varies widely, but it's also just a place where a team can come and just be in that summer league, like NPSL and TLFC, if they maybe don't want to go that extra step, but also don't have another division to be in, i.e. the Northwest teams. There's no Northwest in the League for Clubs or NPSL anymore. And so if they want to do this summer amateur league, USL2 is really the only choice. And so that's USL2's niche. NPSL's niche was more club focused. Was.
I'll
get into that. Where they originally broke off from USL PDL because they're like, you guys focus way too much on the overhead. We want to focus on the individual clubs, individual conferences. And that is why before this year? I think it was last year was the last one. The individual conferences of NPSL chose the regular season format and the playoff format. And that's why you had conferences like Lone Star, where it was 10 or 11 teams and only 4 made playoffs. But then you had Golden Gate, where it was 8 teams and 8 teams made playoffs because those conferences felt like that was what was best for the clubs in the conference felt that was what was best for the conference as a whole. And so NPSL far more focused on the individual clubs and then the conferences that they do. This past year, it's kind of fallen off. TLFC kind of filling in what NPSL was, but again, and then UPSL was, hey, do you know 15 other guys with $200 to burn? Would you like to join a league?
Hey, it's a beer league. It's a beer league. Let's go, you know?
That I mean, there are UPSL clubs that would curb stomp a mid-tier USL2 division, even if that UPSL team was down a man to start every game. And there are USL2 clubs that couldn't win a UPSL D1 conference. It's just the magic of US amateur soccer and how confusing and wonky and lovely it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why we love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you think of like these random teams, like we played Arizona Monsoon, who are part of the UPSL in, Open Cup. And we're like, it's a UPSL team. Like we should curb stomp these guys. And, you go and start looking at their socials and it's like, they're actually like,
they're not too bad.
They're a thing.
Yeah, they're a thing.
Arizona Monsoon. I was like, wasn't that the NISA Pro team that was propped up by the league itself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
NISA.
Sorry, NISA instead of UPSL. Who was the UPSL team?
Was it the one before Monsoon or after Monsoon? Because I thought, man,
4-0.
4-0.
Was 4-0 NISA?
4-0, yes. 4-0 is a UPSL team.
That's
it. It was 4-0.
They certainly, I think they won UPSL not that long ago, and they've been doing pretty great. I think they just also joined the UPS or TLFC. Maybe
Gotcha.
might have been somebody else.
It was 4-0 that we beat.
It was 4-0.
Yeah.
And then it was Monsoon. And then after Monsoon, we went and played in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Against United. That was fun because that was the first time I think I became a Mozo. I think I've told the story before multiple times. I was coming back home and Carlos Tenario, fan of the show, with the curse, came over and was like, "Hey Dylan, how you doing? You know, we're at a brewery in Corrales right before the game. It's like, you coming to cheer on United?" And I'm like, "No, I live in Lubbock now. I'm cheering on the Matadors. If you guys win, sure, I'll cheer for you guys for the rest of the cup. But it's Lubbock till I die, until we're out of this thing, right?" So I think I love the amateur leagues because there are so many smaller leagues and smaller teams that people do care about and people love going to. And you said this on your podcast. He had an interview on another podcast, and you said that football is football.
Yeah. I mean, the sport doesn't change. All the rules are the same. The quality might be drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, you think of us playing CF10 Houston. Of course, there's apparently some USL2 teams who are, about the same quality as them.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's still the game that we love.
Yeah.
Right? Again, I coached a NERSA team.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you even know what NERSA is. NERSA is the amateur college division.
Okay.
So, like, Tech doesn't have a D1 men's soccer team. So it's our club team that I coached that played in NERSA. And, like, even though the quality was drastically bad, it was still the sport that we loved and we had a great time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Which brings me to my next question, especially. Past 4 seasons, we're loading into season 5 now. We have been in the NPSL. We've had little change, except for like the last season. We had a bit of a lot of change there, going from just traveling in Texas to traveling to Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas. And
then Florida.
And then Florida.
North Carolina.
And then North Carolina. A lot more traveling than we ever have done. But what can Matadors fans expect in USL 2 when it comes to traveling as well as home games? What should we as fans be ready for when it comes to a game day experience?
I imagine for the individual game days, you guys shouldn't expect too much different. From what I've seen, from what I've heard, Lubbock does an amazing job of being game day, of having a game day experience. So I imagine for the most part, nothing will change. I would imagine that you guys may see some more uh, opponent colors. I would imagine that Denton might send a few your way,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how McKinney that fandom kind of develops this offseason. You might see some there because they were getting excellent attendance. I was able to attend the first home game, and boy, they cared. They were all about it when they scored that goal to almost bring it level. They brought it back to like 3-4. There was like 5 minutes left. The crowd just absolutely erupted. They were on their feet for the rest of the time. So I imagine. I mean, as you guys know, Hitch works magic.
He
So
does. He does.
I would imagine that hopefully you guys can get some more away fans. As for the travel, this is something that is big, that is different from NPSL to USL 2. First thing, nomenclature. We don't have conferences and regions. We have divisions and conferences.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bit
Yeah.
split around a
It
bit.
is it is essentially the same thing, but I've seen plenty of people come from NPSL, fans come from NPSL, and then their team moves to USL 2. The team will say, "Hey, we won our conference," and then the USL 2 account will post, "Here's the division champs," and they're like, "Well, hold on, that's different." And then they'll see conference playoffs, and they're like, "Well, hold on, we already played that person in the division. Why are we possibly playing them in the conference playoffs?" And which leads me to my second point, where we don't have division playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It starts at the conference level or region in NPSL terms, and the way that it works is much like the NCAA baseball and softball tournaments, as well as the women's basketball tournament, where there is, once you have the essentially 32 teams that are going to be the primary 32 teams, teams will put in bids. USL2 will select 8 of them, 2 in each conference, and that will host rounds 1 and 2.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
then after that, you get down to 8, and you have the conference finals, and they select 2 bids to host, and they will host conference finals and national semifinals, which does mean probably the thing that I have the biggest pet peeve, they will be conference champions crowned not within their conference.
Okay.
i.e., Flint City, I think it was this year, won the Central Conference Championship in Ballard.
Okay.
What was it? I forgot who won the Southern Conference, but they played up in Vermont for the Southern Conference Championship.
Okay.
Kind of hate that. And also, while USL HQ does take into account regular season results, if you win your division and you put in a bid, that doesn't guarantee that you will host. This past year, supposedly Asheville City and Laredo Heat both put in bids to host. However, Dothan United, who came second in the South Central, were selected to host.
Mm-hmm.
That pissed off people, understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a huge difference that happens here in USL2 over NPSL. But something good that can come of it is that you guys won't travel potentially all the way to Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went all the way to Jacksonville and then all the way to
All the
Hickory,
way to
North
Jacksonville for
Carolina,
Wednesday,
and then
all the way to
Sunday
Jacksonville for a Wednesday game, and then
or
Sunday or
Sunday
Saturday,
game.
you go all the way to Hickory, North Carolina,
Yeah.
and you rack over what was it, like over close to
I did
5,000
the
miles or something like that,
calculation.
or like
I did the
3,000
calculation in
miles?
the chat because
Well, it was so funny when that happened because one, we had to play in Midland on that previous
Yes.
Saturday. We had to go down there. We won the conference title, came back, partied like no other,
Mhm.
and then the next day had like recovery, and then went straight to straight to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean, you don't get enough time to
That's-
like organize planes. Like I remember they said they had to drive to Midland to catch a plane, then
to
go to like
DC.
to
Then they
DC.
drove from DC down to Jacksonville, and then they played in Jacksonville. Stayed there for a bit.
Is DC closer to Jacksonville than Lubbock?
It had better flight rates. It had a better flight price.
It was a money thing.
It was a money thing.
Okay, but
because NPSL doesn't cover your travel fees.
Just driving wise,
Driving
is it
wise,
not closer
driving
to
wise,
just go from Lubbock to Jacksonville?
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. But flying there and busing down was cheaper than flying direct.
So you got to remember that the NPSL doesn't
Yeah,
cover
but
your
like-
fees to go.
Yeah.
Like we had to play it all out.
Does it? But my thing is just, wouldn't it just be cheaper to bus from Lubbock to Jacksonville than fly to DC and
Because it would be a
Stuff's
2-day
weird.
leg instead of like a 1-day flight and then like another day to go down. I think it'd be like a longer leg. I'm not 100% sure.
The vibes of NPSL
weird.
were very high. Like,
But apparently it
That's
saved
weird.
money, and I think that's why we did it. I calculated.
Understandable.
Let's see here. I'm looking in the chat that we were talking in. Let's see. Bus back to Hickory, then to Washington D.C. Flew back to DFW. I said total season was 12,111 miles, give or take maybe 200 to 300 miles total that season. The playoffs. The playoffs was let's see here, 118 miles away, 1,338 miles away to Jacksonville, and then 1,331 miles away to Hickory. So give or take, you're going. We go drive from Midland back to Lubbock, rest and recuperate, back to Midland, up to Washington D.C., drive down to Jacksonville, stay there for I think a day or two. Recuperate, train, go up to Charlotte, North Carolina to train at Charlottetown Hops facilities, then take the 50-minute drive to Hickory to play there, and then bus all the way back up to Washington, D.C., fly back to Midland, drive back up to Lubbock.
Well, that won't happen in USL 2.
Which is great,
To save
honestly.
money,
Yeah.
because the pod system, not only is there a host, and so you'll have a Friday game, then a Sunday game, which... but also the playoffs aren't exactly the best way to show who was the best team over a 12 to 14 game season that lasted 2.5 months.
Yeah.
So, give or take. So that won't happen.
I'd much rather
because-
go up to Vermont to play for the South Conference title and know that we're going to be there for the next 4 days potentially.
Yeah. Well, depending on how divisions work out and what USL 2 does, we'll talk about it later. The farthest y'all might go for your first 2 games might be like Hattiesburg. That would be the farthest
That's
you
not
guys
too
would
bad.
go, probably for round 1
Better
or
than
2, round 1
Jacksonville.
and 2.
Better than Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that any day.
And yeah, it's a mess. Both the NPSL and USL 2. Also, I don't know how true this is, but from what I've talked to some people about, apparently also with the bid process is how much that host team will pay for certain accommodations, such as hotels, such as meals, which means that the non-host teams get to not have to pay for some of that.
Yeah.
And then also supposedly some of the higher franchise fee and all that other fee also goes towards kind of a pot to help teams cover that. I don't know how true that is. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So
Whatever you've heard, of course.
Obviously the format's different. It's a lot different in terms of playoffs, and that has led to a lot of people being upset at it. But it saves a whole lot of money because you also don't have the potential of I think it was El Farolito, where El Farolito played in like Michigan
It was
for the national
Michigan,
semifinal. Went back because I think it was a week between the national semifinal and the national final, and then they flew to Hickory. Or no, Hickory flew to them, but
Yeah.
like I mean, it's
Because
just,
the West teams couldn't host the semifinals, so we were a little giddy
because there
during
was
the
only one conference.
Hickory game that if we win, we're hosting a national semifinal in Lubbock,
after not
Texas.
hosting the whole way through.
Yeah, after not hosting, and which I personally believe that was the NPSL getting rage baited by Hitch. I want to think that they were just like, ooh, we hate you because you're a Hitch team. We're going to make you fly all these other places and go all these other places. I don't think it's confirmed. I don't know if it's 100% true or anything. That's what I'm feeling because Hitch like took a bunch of his teams out.
I was about to say, well, with the fact that the only, was it 2 teams, I think now? 2 or 3 teams? There's Charlatan, Hops, there's Appalachian, there's currently Fort Worth, and I think
that's about it.
for
Yeah,
the
because
Hitch Club.
Apotheos is USL2 now because
Which that's a new one. That's a new
yes.
one. He paid into that one recently.
Yes.
That was interesting when that happened.
Well, 2 summers ago, I was working social media with the ownership group, so I had to do their socials. But I believe that they contracted the company instead, and then Hitch was like, yoink. Yeah. And then Columbus, I think they were NPSL, and now they're USL too. Denton, of course, and then so I think there's only 3 left, and we'll see what happens. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to speculate wildly about that. But last question here. We all know Annapolis FC. We all know a few of these big hitters in USL two. What are your big hitters? Who do you consider to be the best teams in the league?
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can go to that. If you go by purely a statistical number, you have the likes of Laredo Heat. You have, which are back this year. I think they came back after being in NPSL. You have Des Moines Menace, long-standing team. Flint City Bucks, the most successful USL2 team. You have Ventura County out in the West Coast. You have a team that I don't think gets quite enough love, Asheville City, who may or may not be in the Southern Conference this year. Again, we may touch on that later. As for some teams more local to you, teams to look out for, Denton, McKinney, supposedly, maybe Corpus Christi is starting a 2-team. Since they're moving up to League One, they might be keeping a USL2 presence. That would be nice. As a more wider Southern Conference, Little Rock Rangers is the big hitter. Dothan United and LA Crew, Louisiana Crew, which I wish they would change their name to Acadiana Crew. It's a much better name and also doesn't have the state in it. I have a thing when it comes to club names, so we don't need to get into that.
Fair enough.
And then in Florida, just any team that is connected to a professional team, or soon to be professional team, I guess. So like Fort Lauderdale, Sarasota, if they keep their USL2 team, those have been killer recently. As for a wider range, some more that I don't think get enough love. Western Mass, Long Island has been a long-standing, highly successful team. Lions Bridge, Salem City has had about 4 different names over the past like 20 to 25 years, and they have probably a dozen conference or dozen division titles, 4 or 5 conference titles
with the conference and division.
Yes.
Well, it's because in here they have divisions and USL2 just needs to change the name to match everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll leave it at that. It would be super simple to do, and I wish they would. It would make all the headaches go away. But yeah, Salem City has had like 3 or 4 different names. They were known as like North Carolina Fusion. They were known as like North Carolina something U23s. They had a name before that. They've had a few different names, and some of it is through different ownership, but no matter what, the team has been successful. So keep an eye out for them. Towards the Central Conference, you have your Des Moines, Peoria cities, Flint cities, Ann Arbors that have had pretty sustained success. And then, some more new kids on the block, which is Ballards and the San Franciscos. And then we touched on it a little bit earlier, I think, FC Tucson. They were pretty good before they made the jump, and since they've moved back down, they've also been a threat. But as I may have said before on the podcast, it might have been before it, nobody in the Mountain Division. You don't need to worry about the Mountain Division.
Yep. Don't worry about the Mountain Division.
The Sun Belt of
I'm a Mountain Division hater.
The Fun Belt, the Maction of USL2.
No, the CUSA.
The CUSA.
Also known as
Okay,
the
yeah.
FCS. Yeah, I mean the CUSA is just FCS, but not.
Like,
This is coming from somebody that supports an FCS school. Line up, Southeastern Louisiana all the way.
There we go.
7-0 in FCS.
Which Southeastern Louisiana, right? I believe they are also go by SLU. So I've got friends from St. Louis University, the Billikens, and so they see SLU and they're like, "Is that no? It's Southeastern Louisiana, not St. Louis."
I am a big proponent of SELU because Southeastern is a intercardinal direction, and intercardinal directions are abbreviated with 2 letters.
That's true.
So SELU.
That's true. That's true. But they do.
Now we're talking about football. That's later.
Yeah,
we're talking about the different football.
That's a bit later. We'll get your takes on that, especially. But we're gonna blow up this map that you've made, and we're gonna send out a link to y'all to the USL Discord as well as soon as they get that Matadors role added, because we don't want to have a huge influx of members and just be like, "Where's the Matadors role? Where is it?" Because we've got some pretty crazy fans. We got some pretty intense crazy fans. So we're gonna wait to give you guys that until they get our role in check there. But you have given us a bit of a map here. We're going to blow it up big on the screen here for a second. But you have a very fun map, and we're going to focus in at the northern Texas part of this map, where you have listed Denton Diablos, the McKinney Chupacabras, and then Texoma, because, since we recorded the last podcast, actually, I think the day or two after it went live, Texoma moved from USL 1 down to 2. So that kind of helps us a bit with our travel. They're just outside of the DFW Metro. And then you have 2 other dots there, Midland and Fort Worth. We did argue about this in our last podcast about who makes it in, who doesn't. And you came back at us with an interesting thought process as to, who should be allowed to get in, who brings stuff to the table. What are your thoughts on Fort Worth and West Texas potentially coming into the league?
USL 2, for the most part, kind of has the same mentality as we joked about it with UPSL, but if you can pay and you can show up and you can have a place to host 6 or 7 games.
Oh God, we've gone this far into the podcast without getting a 6. I think but
say it. Yeah, you can say it. What?
I hate the 6-7 thing so much. I deal with high schoolers so much. I had to do it today, and I nearly punched a kid.
Oh, no.
My mom's a teacher. One of my best friends is a teacher. Person who ordained me and my wife's a teacher, so I mess with them about it. So
yeah, I've been seeing all the kids, like all the field trip days for college basketball, and they go nuts when they hit 67 points. They pan to the crowd, and all the kids are going, ah! Ah! Oh my gosh! I mean, it's hype. It's funny. It's also a stupid meme. But yeah. we had what's 9 plus 10?
21.
Yeah, that was our 6-7. So yeah, sorry, 6 to 7 home games, give or take.
So yeah, if they can play 6 to 7 home games, if they can have 11 people out on the field every game, and if they can pay the expansion fee and the franchise fee, USL 2 will probably take them.
Okay.
As long as there's not a whole bunch of teams in that city and or area. So I wouldn't be surprised if they would want to squeeze, 3 or 4 in the DFW Metroplex. Not quite going to include Texoma in that, but 3 or 4 in the Metroplex. I'm sure out here in West Texas area that's not quite El Paso, they'd probably be happy with 4 or 5 out there too. So, West Texas joins Amarillo. I'm not too familiar with a lot of those other ones in that kind of Texas Plains and Panhandle.
That's it.
That's it. Right now, we believe that it is just Lubbock and Midland in this West Texas area. Abilene doesn't have a team. Amarillo has a professional indoor soccer team, as we discussed before. But I think they had an NPSL team at one point. They don't currently. I don't know about El Paso. I don't think they do. Which I would think, like, come on, El Paso would be a great
actually,
yeah, Locomotives do.
I think either today or yesterday, NPSL announced Sun City FC, which is in El Paso, I believe.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Give it 1 or 2 more years.
Give it one or 2 more years, and we can have a travel partner out there. Which, by the way, is another like 5-6 hour drive. So
I also hate El Paso. So
I wouldn't be surprised if UPSL, if they got a few more teams in Arizona and New Mexico, if they squeezed El Paso into the Southwest Division more than a Texas division, because there's just so much space.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
Maybe.
room there. I mean, I think Abilene would be a fun market to do it, to have a team in, because then you have a kind of a travel partner, a travel leg from the DFW teams. They can come up, play Abilene, play us, or just go play us, then play Abilene, then come back home. I think that'd be pretty fun. It's about 2.5 hours away from us.
We've joked about it for like a year or two now about putting a team in Amarillo, so we could pretty much have the your city sucks more than my city sucks, right?
Mhm.
Like 3-legged trip.
Yes,
And also just because there's a Buc-ee's there, and we envisioned a shirt sponsor with the Buc-ee's logo
just a
on it.
giant Bucky's
And
Bucky Beaver right there.
I hate Amarillo. I would buy that jersey.
I would buy the shirt.
I would buy it just for the Buc-ee's logo.
It's just cool. Yeah, I think that'd be
Yep.
very neat.
Gosh, I'm still waiting for a Bucky's to be within drivable distance.
Yeah, now we have that. I mean, that's ours is closest one to us is Amarillo. It used to be Denton, now it's Amarillo. And then the closest one to New Mexico is going to be in around Aurora, Colorado. I want to say Colorado Springs area. I'm not 100%, but there's going to be one. There is one in Colorado now. I don't know much if there's a Buc-ee's out by you, but I do know that there is one in Alabama.
The closest one currently for me is there's one that recently opened up earlier this year in Gulfport.
Uh-huh.
So that's there. They're opening one up in Ruston on I-20.
Okay.
And then supposedly, allegedly, there's one hopefully coming just outside Lafayette.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That one will be in driving distance if the Lafayette one happens.
The beaver is spreading.
The beaver is spreading, and we love the beaver.
Good.
Love the beaver. We love the beaver. But yeah, I mean, you got some flack for this map on Discord, but I do enjoy this. Even though we don't like West Texas, I think it'd be fun to have them in our conference. I think the fans would still love it because right now the rivalry is red hot. The rivalry is huge. Both fan bases travel out for it. We legitimately hate each other. All these players, talking to all the players and stuff, we're like, we don't really care. We care about every game, of course, but like this, we understand
It's
how
the
much
SEC,
it means.
it means more.
Yeah, it's the SEC, means more. You know, LSU, Arkansas, LSU, A&M. Is that a rivalry? But yeah.
Getting there.
Definitely getting there.
Especially after that.
I'm not going to start talking bad about Texas A&M because I hate Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, I mean every Lubbockite hates A&M unless you're from there. But
I did apply for school there. I got it. I didn't go. But,
Good for you. You made the right choice, kid.
I did.
You made the right choice.
That's what matters.
That's exactly what matters.
But yeah, with the circling back to the map at hand. So this is my current thought process about what the divisions will be in the Southern Conference next year. And there's two things that I did. You've already talked about one, which is add Fort Worth and West Texas. And the reason why I think we have at least two more teams coming is because it seems, one, that USL2 doesn't like triple round robin. They hate it. And thus they try to have at minimum 6 teams in a division. So with this, I needed 2 more teams. West Texas, Fort Worth, both exist. Fort Worth is in the Hitchcock Cinematic Universe, so them coming over made sense. And then the other one, West Texas, it's the simplest one. Maybe there's one that we don't know of. Maybe there's a new team coming in. Who's to say? And then the second thing is that Texoma and y'all, whenever you guys were announced for USL2, did not have a division specified. And the 2 teams in West Tennessee, Memphis FC and Jackson Boom, I think it was, they both said the Mid-South.
Got it.
Which is the division that you guys likely would have been slotted into. But since there's no division listed, that leads me to believe, okay, there's another division in the works.
Yes.
And so it also kind of depends on, maybe it will just be a combined big Lone Star division if enough teams in the current Lone Star division, which is the lower one, if enough teams from there fold or move or leave in general,
God, absolute
maybe
cinema.
it's just a big
Absolute cinema.
maybe it's just a big Texas division. Maybe you get a North Texas, South Texas. Maybe they'll say Lone Star North, Lone Star South. Maybe they'll say Red River and Lone Star, or I don't know what they could possibly say.
Gulf Coast,
But-
Dust Coast.
Yeah, that's possible.
could work.
That's possible. And yeah, so it's just that's what I would think. And then keeping in mind the 6 team kind of limit, that's where I then circled in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and West Tennessee's. I keep the South Central more or less the same. I do kind of kick out Asheville City because I would love a Carolinas division. And then I keep the Southeast, which is essentially North Florida. I keep them the same as South Florida. And the second thing that I did outside of add West Texas and Fort Worth was that I didn't take out the teams leaving for USL 1 or the team that took this year off slash left. We're not sure. Athens United was supposed to be a part of the league. That's why a lot of times you'll see teams or league numbers say 144 teams when only 143 participated. It's because Athens United was originally included and then they just didn't participate.
Got it.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
yeah, then down in Florida you have Sarasota, which is moving up, and Fort Lauderdale? I think Fort Lauderdale is the other
Yes.
one that's moving up. And
Yes.
then over in Texas, you have Corpus Christi, who's moving up, but also has on their website Corpus Christi FC 2 participating in USL League 2. So,
Yeah, there was some confusion there because, I mean, I listed off everything that was on the website as of the 2025 season. Caleb was like, they're not going to be there next year. And then I was like, you're right. And then later, once I joined the USL Discord, people were like, well, actually, there might be a team
Yeah.
in Corpus Christi, and they'll have their reserve team, their second team in USL 2. So who's to say? We'll see.
I mean, Birmingham Legion 2 is on there in the South
Mhm.
Central. We've had New Mexico United U23. Lexington SC has their team. 2 team, you can kind of just see them, but they don't have a 2 in their name. I don't like that. I've gotten multiple arguments with Lexington fans
Mhm.
about the USL2 and USLW teams not having a 2 or a B on it. Personal preference.
Yeah, I
Have a
think
2
like
on it.
Lexington SC in parentheses W, Lexington SC parentheses C for championship would clear things up a bit.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even. They're always like, oh, one club, one crest, one name. And I'm like, cool. You know who else does that but still adds the 2? Everyone in Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every reserve team in America that has the same name, they have 2.
I mean, there are some that will have unique like crests. Like I think Legion 2 might have a unique crest. Obviously, all of the MLS Next Pro teams have that, but just don't have just add a B. Add a B at the
Mhm.
end. You can still call them Lexington SC, but it eliminates any and all confusion. Because I remember whenever they were announced for USL 2, the amount of people in the comments were like, "I thought they were announced for the championship. Now they're down in League 2.
What
Oh wow,
happened?
you guys do have promotion relegation."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay,
All
so
that
there you
stuff.
go.
So, anyway, but so yeah, it's just this is kind of my thought process. This is what I think's going to happen. It doesn't take into account teams that are possible to fold. I wouldn't be too surprised to see, maybe Lone Star folding, 1 or 2 Houston teams.
Hmm.
Bria hasn't gotten too much. SSA Kings is a bit iffy. And then over in the Floridas, those have kind of had a rotating door of 1 or 2 teams. So teams fold, teams join. This is what I think it'll turn out to be. This is what I hope for y'all's sake, so you guys don't have the possibility of going to Tennessee or coming
Mhm.
all the way down here to Cajun country of Lafayette. So fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, and then I also saw. I want to circle back really quick to fan experience because I just remembered something. There's a streaming deal with Sports Engine, NBC Peacock. So I heard that Vermont Green were apparently paying fines to the league because they were also broadcasting on YouTube. Will this still be a thing next season? Will they relinquish some control?
I don't know. I'm unsure. This is since I started, I think the third, it's at least the second, possibly third different streaming service that USL2 has been on officially, but the ones before this have been lax. Like I remember whenever I started, the team that was up in Shreveport, which was Blue Goose, awesome crest.
That's a great
But
name.
anyway, they would stream on Facebook, and there were a couple other teams that would stream on Facebook. Plenty of them streamed on YouTube. I think there was one or two that were on Twitch.
Heck yeah.
Uh,
PogChamp.
and so they would stream on the other one, and then they would also stream on their preferred one. But this one, it seems like USL2 is kind of hammering down where like, hey, if you guys are streaming, you have to be streaming on Sports Engine. And a lot of people think that it is in connection with the USL Super League deal,
Mm-hmm.
which would make sense. But it's also definitely annoying because Sports Engine is not a fun place to be on. It's not. It's clunky. It's not very intuitive. Every like 15 or 20 minutes you'll get an ad that's 5 times louder than the actual stream itself.
Fun.
So you'll blow out an eardrum.
I'd say Brownsville all over again.
Brownsville all over again, yeah.
We're not too excited about it. It's definitely one of the shortcomings of USL League 2 currently. That is for sure.
So fans, I don't think it's going to be as bad as Arkansas or Brownsville or
CF10
Houston streams where it's like
or Hickory where you have their announcer screaming
and being super biased and all that. But it'll be on a different service, so potential more broadcasting woes. We'll see what we can do with that, what we can have happen with that. So just we're gonna wait until the season starts, till we get more updates and announcements. But I did want to mention that before we did anything else.
So going back to the teams, I had a question for you. What do you know about the Texoma situation?
Not much. Not much. It's a team that a lot of people questioned being in League One from the get-go. I mean, Texoma is not a region that very many know about, and it is not a region that is very populated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I just according to a quick Google search, it's sitting at about 350 for the whole metro, and the metro's rather spread apart. That's
city limits of
even
Lubbock.
Texoma is just like one of those places that's a complete afterthought of an afterthought in Texas.
There are people who lived in the region who are like, why did we choose Texoma as a name? That's the first time I've ever heard of Texoma as a name.
Yeah, it's so that in and of itself gave off red flags. There are small markets in USL League 1. You have Southern Georgia Tormenta. You had Northern Colorado before. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that are just kind of in absolutely no man's land, but I can't think of any.
One comes to mind is Portland Hearts of Pine, because when you think Portland, you're like, oh, is it Oregon? No, it's Maine. It's Maine.
Yeah, but I feel like that works there because obviously Portland, Maine is a very small knit community that doesn't have a lot of sports.
Yes,
it's Texas.
Yeah,
sports are everything here, and everyone has everyone has their main.
The metro population for Portland, Maine, is also over 500,000.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Fair point.
So fair point.
So
literally more than Lubbock.
Larger addressable market.
The championship.
Yeah, they could go championship.
Yeah. So even what Portland, the city, has a population of, let's see what only 68,000, but that's within city limits. If you go beyond it, it expands rather rapidly. So that was still a decent thing to pull from. And so when it comes to Texoma, a lot of people are like, it's kind of a nowheresville. And if it is a nowheresville, sorry to anybody in Texoma, but
we're from Lubbock, literally nowheresville town. That's nowheresville.
Yeah.
You say that, and yet the metro of Lubbock would be like 4th in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like,
Lubbock is still you guys
big,
are behind.
But it's
not. You guys are behind New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Bossier City, and then I think it's y'all.
Okay.
In terms of population. So
let's cut out, move it on over. The only way Tech goes into the SEC. That's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way we can make that work.
So yeah, it's just a lot of people are already confused with that, but with some of the other ones like South Georgia Tormenta, it's somebody that has a lot of money, that's really hype about it, that's building a stadium, and so it's kind of like, all right, yeah, sure, come on, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And with Texoma, there wasn't really that plan. It somewhat came out of nowhere, and so there was already a lot of questions. They didn't get good attendance. Didn't seem like there was the money behind it to really support that good attendance. And so a lot of people were, I guess, disappointed but not surprised is the real way to put it, because it was, I mean, it was a team that seemed from an outside looking in a mess start to finish. And so I can only imagine how messy some of their books got, and some of their how desperate some of their attempts to make sure that they have the cash on hand went.
Now, I think they will do really, really well in USL 2. I think that the market works really, really well for USL 2, especially for all these smaller markets. I think it could work out a lot better than it did in
especially
1.
playing teams from, because you think in League One, there's not a lot of teams around them.
It's really spread out here.
So, I mean, but now they're going to be playing teams in Denton and McKinney and all that, where it's much closer.
Outside of Piedmont, there's nothing. You got half the teams in the Piedmont region. You got half the teams in the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to League One, so that's not great. But yeah, it's just also another thing. This is something that annoys me personally when it comes to USL League 2, is that people will see a team like Lubbock, Annapolis, Denton, McKinney, Des Moines, Peoria, Ballard, etc., Vermont Green, where they'll see a team and they're like, hey, they get 2,000 or more per game. They should move up to League One. It's really, I don't want to say easy, but it's a lot easier to get a city of 50 to 250,000 that doesn't have a professional sports team, that doesn't have anything else. It's really easy to get them excited about 6 games over the course of 3 months, or
Yes.
6 to 8 games over the course of 3 months that may lead to playoff games. It's a lot harder to get those same city of 50 to 250,000 excited about 18 to 20 games over the course of 10 months.
Yes.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I mean, the USL 1 season would run right into tech football and the mass that is in this town. I mean, if we had a game the same day, your attendance wouldn't even be half, not even a quarter of what it is.
You probably get 1,000 people there.
Maybe.
Whereas in the summer,
I mean, that would still put you all towards the top end of League 2 attendance wise. So
I mean, fair enough. But like we were saying, like, okay, pie in the sky. We get a stadium. We become a professional team. We need to have more support of just the soccer infrastructure. But everybody supports Texas Tech. I mean, there are 2 colleges here. There's Tech. There's LCU.
I'm about to say I'm wearing Tech gear as I'm sitting here.
I have LCU friends who come over to my house and look at my schedule and be like, "Oh, did we win?" Meaning Texas Tech. Like, bro, you don't even go here, and you're asking if Texas Tech won. It's the national team of Lubbock, Texas. So if you're playing
being in Baton Rouge, I understand entirely. If something isn't purple and gold, doesn't matter
Correct.
if it's professional, college, amateur, unless maybe it's high school. If it ain't purple and gold, people don't care.
Exactly, and that's pretty much all of West Texas as well, and some of Eastern New Mexico is just Red Raiders. And then once you get in the Metroplex, you start seeing more TCU, more UT, more A&M, SMU, all that stuff. And as we were saying, the USL 1 schedule runs from March through October. So you're getting college basketball just ending March Madness, which we have a great basketball team. That's not going to work well with us. Tech baseball starting up. Tech baseball goes all the way through July, so that's optimally. Ends around June, May to June, so that's an optimal. Tech softball, who just went to the national championship game, where we're only 7 innings away from winning a championship. They are in the middle of that as well. And then you have the summer months where we usually thrive. And then after that, you've got football season starting up, and then basketball season just about around the corner once the season ends. So I think right now, the summer works perfectly for us. Having those 3 months of May, June, July, and then August for playoffs is absolutely perfect, because if college baseball sucks, which it did, the only thing you're competing with is Tech softball. And we had a game against Fort Worth on the first game of the College World Series, And we look up in the boxes of the stadium we're playing at. They have it on the big screen in the club section, so we can kind of see the score. We're all sort of paying attention to the score on our phones, but we're rooting for the game. We're rooting for the team. We still get like 4,000 people show up, 4,000 people show up to that game. And when you have no other competition in town during those summer months, that's where we thrive. Getting people excited, as you said, about a team in USL2 during those summer months is so much easier than trying to stretching it out as much as you said.
That's, it's just the way that I kind of think about it is that there's a sports calendar, and the sports calendar in the US starts with football.
Mm-hmm.
And in football, basketball and hockey are just starting up. So in those cities and in those places where there's both a football team and a basketball/hockey team, well, is the football team good? Yes. Okay, I'm going to care about them. Is the football team shit? No. Let me focus on basketball and hockey. And then that goes. And then when baseball starts up in February and March, people look and they say, okay, is my basketball and or hockey team good? No? Okay, well, I'll switch to baseball. Oh, they are? I'll care. But, oh, they're not? Let me just switch. And so then they switch there. And then baseball goes until, come August,
Mm-hmm.
the football season starts. Okay, is my team in the chase for the playoffs? No? Okay, I'll switch to caring about football.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to those summer months, the only thing that soccer in the U.S. is competing against is baseball. And while, yes, baseball and the minor leagues are huge, there's also only, there's 32 baseball teams plus 4 levels of minor league now?
Yep.
Or is it 30? Is it 30?
I think it's around everybody has 3, and then there's usually 4. Hi, Kitty Cat.
Cat's back.
Hi, Kitty Cat. But yeah, there's 3 teams that are every single team. So there are hundreds, but at the same time, it's a 162-game season. So it's like, okay, I don't really need to care about watching this game or this game. Whereas when our season's only 3 months long, it's a lot more intense. And it like I hear a lot of people say, oh, we're in the summer months. It's the dead zone. And I'm like, no, man, there's so much more sports going on all around you. Just look. Yeah. Just look. There's sports happening within 30 minutes of you, and it's a $15 ticket. Which, speaking of, let's move on to final topic of discussion about this map. Which NPSL teams could you see following the Matadors in the coming months? If, in a hypothetical, which other NPSL teams do you think could come to USL2?
I mean, just moving from west to east. Here, let me pull up a map of NPSL for 2025. Don't worry, there's not that many teams to really delve into.
I think there's a good handful.
Yeah.
What would you say, Caleb?
Teams I would say?
Teams you would say.
You know my feelings about all the teams in Texas.
Uh-huh.
Again, we've talked about Midland and Fort Worth. We're going to leave those ones out of it.
Mm-hmm. Just for now.
Although I hate Hickory with a passion, I think Hickory has a lifeline where they can move up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it.
Well,
I think AppFC can too.
I was about to say, I definitely think you're leaving out some. When it comes to the Lone Star Conference, yeah, Fort Worth, West Texas, I think they can. Arkansas Wolves seem like they're pretty into NISA. From what y'all have said about CF10, they might not have the money. Oklahoma United, from what I've seen, seems like they're trying to key up a next pro move.
Yes.
Maybe. Because I've seen some other stuff with that. Like, also from what y'all have said, it seems like Brownsville isn't exactly in the right spot.
They're not
to
really
move
in
over.
a good financial spot at the moment. I don't think so.
Moving over to the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference, which if you ever want to see about the downfall of NPSL, there's 2 things you need to look. The West region and the Gulf Coast Conference / Sunshine Conference that's now had to be combined, and the shenan and agains that have happened there. Excuse my French, maybe even malarkey that have happened in the Gulf Coast Sunshine. We've said so much worse words on this podcast.
Maybe some malarkey.
I would say Jesters and maybe Naples United, but the issue is that the Jesters ownership and everything is super, super involved in like the main people, one of like the main 5 or 6 people making decisions about NPSL is the owner of Jesters.
So he's going to want to keep his
So I
team in that.
Yeah.
can't really see that. Well, I don't know if you guys saw a map for the Jesters for this year. Their closest team was in their conference. Their closest team was Panama City, PSC FC Florida, which only played 4 games, 2 of them against the Jesters.
Suspect.
So that, and then the next one is like Jacksonville or something like that. It's ridiculous, that conference. So the only one I can really see, because Jacksonville Armada, they're going to Next Pro. Naples United, I can see them moving over. That's kind of about it. Club
Okay.
de Leon, if they can get themselves figured out, maybe. And then if we go to the Southeast Division, I would like to see 865 Alliance move over. Appalachian FC can definitely move over. That's a hitch team. Charlottetown Hops, depending, I can see them being able to move over depending if USL2 deems Charlotte full with the 2 teams that are there. I would like to see Greenville United move over. Hickory and Port FC, I can definitely see move over. I know Hickory won't this year because they've already been announced as part of the Open Cup. And I don't know if you guys know how Open Cup bids work in USL2 and NPSL, but if you get a bid and then you move leagues, you also forfeit your bid.
Yeah,
Which
this was
is-
something we talked about we thought we might get a Open Cup bid this year, but then we moved conferences. or
So we
moved
were already
leagues.
like, I think we would have already been announced if we were doing it. And so that kind of like sent alarm bells throughout the fan base about like, okay, we're not going to NPSL.
So
We're not doing that next
the
year.
way that I believe NPSL does it is that they do it by region champs. All 4 region champs get a bid, and then it is just purely the whole league points per game.
And I think we got
And that's-
third in points per game in 23 or 20. Yeah, in 23,
Yeah.
which set us up for our Open Cup bid in early 24.
Oh, and that's another difference. The way that USL2 does it is it's kind of weird. So the winners of USL2 playoffs, they're the number 1 bid. They're their number 1 seed to get a bid. Then it is division champs by points per game.
Okay.
Interesting.
So if you
Interesting.
if you are a national finalist that were a division runner up and you don't win the national finals, the highest place you're going to be is 20th place.
Weird.
Which-
Okay.
That's harsh, but I also kind of understand because I don't know if 5 games potentially in 3 different states is the best way to decide who should get a spot in the Open Cup and not a 14-game season. So it makes sense, but it also is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to NPSL, from what's been happening, I don't know if I sent you guys this, but there is a graphic that somebody that is big in Little Rock, the Little Rock Rangers fan group, that he put together, that it was from like December 2020 to November 2024. And it was all the different teams that had left NPSL,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be to go to USL2, UPSL, fold their outdoor team, move up, defect to TLFC at the time because TLFC had just been announced. And it was, I think, 22 teams had moved from NPSL to USL2 in that time, and it's only gone up by like 5 or 6. And I don't know about y'all, but basically any sport I've ever played, 22-0's a blowout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No one's going down. No one's leaving
No one's
USL2
leaving. Yeah.
to go to. Oh, I mean, back
Yeah,
in
and
the
that
day.
time there's been 0.
I mean, when
We
the
saw
USL,
Midland do it.
I mean, when the USL2 was changing its name, and like because you
Yeah.
talked about Laredo was in USL2. It wasn't USL2. It was Pro Development League, whatever
PDL.
it was.
BDL.
But and then Midland, the soccer.
The Midland Sockers, as they were called.
Stupidest name I've ever heard, by the way. I mean, like they moved, but that was during the Civil War of all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then it went back to NPSL. So, I mean, right now there's just so much uncertainty about the NPSL that I don't know how it's going to work out in the next 2 years. I legitimately think that so many teams are going to fold this season that they're going to have even more conference consolidation, even more stuff that's going to stretch these teams thin.
The biggest thing that when it comes to the NPSL, again, the West region had pre-COVID, I think it had 3 or 4 pretty healthy conferences. And, it's just teams have been going away. I think it was 2024. The same guy who did the previous thing with NPSL and teams moving over to USL2, he did a whole graphic of all, I think it was 93 teams. And then he circled every team that, not in Hitchcock's case where it's, he owns different teams, but they're like operated completely separately. It is teams that are owned and operated by the exact same people. The Southwest Division last year of NPSL in 2024 had 6 teams. 3 of them, half of the conference, were completely propped up BS teams.
Wow.
That were essentially 2 teams of other teams that were there. And there was like 4 or 5 other instances of that. Like Naples United, I think, is connected pretty closely to Global Soccer Pathways. You had Westchester, who had Westchester SC, Westchester United, and Westchester Predators, which is the exact same team, essentially. Alexandria Reds, Alexandria Rough Diamonds. From what we understand, the exact same people. And so, yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah.
And there was a whole bunch of them. And the thing is, despite all the teams that have folded and left, there's still those that exist. Westchester still has 2 teams. Alexandria still has 2 teams. And it's a mess. I mean, the West region is only down to 1 conference now. That's why El Farolito couldn't host a national semifinal. It's because they didn't play a West regional championship.
Yeah.
The Southern Conference is down to having to have the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference, which stretches, it's all the Florida teams and then New Orleans, Lone Star Conference.
Yeah. Lone Star is now Oklahoma and Arkansas alongside Texas.
It's now
the Sunshine Conference no longer exists.
When you talk about the NPSL downfall, you go back from like peak when we joined, 2021, 22, like peak NPSL era. When the Lone Star Conference had, 10, 12 teams in it?
Yeah.
And, I mean, we had to go to Laredo, to Brownsville. I mean, you had Irving FC, who eventually became Gaios. You had the Sockers had just folded, and then it came back as Midland the next year. I mean, and then just the steepest downfall after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, the only in the Midwest region of NPSL, I kid you not, they have multiple New York State teams. They have Buffalo Stallions, Flower City, which is Rochester, Niagara 1812, Rochester, New York FC, Syracuse FC. The Great Lakes Conference is just Upper New York. Like, oh yes, my favorite Midwest city, Niagara, New York.
Yeah,
Buffalo. Syracuse, New York.
Is Ontario Midwest?
Midwest emo fans are in raptures right now, learning that the New York is not considered the Midwest.
Buffalo is the Midwest? No way, bro.
Yes, yeah. So, like, that's how bad it is. I mean, the East region has more or less stayed the same. You still have Keystone East and West. Mid-Atlantic still pretty strong. North Atlantic has had some issues. But then it's also, you look at the teams in there, and you're like, who the are any of these?
Yeah, exactly.
Who the hell is American Soccer Club New York?
Who the hell is
so many Osner FC?
I don't know how you can have NPCs in a sporting division, but we had like at least half the conference were NPCs.
Oh, I mean, in the Gulf Coast Sunshine, you have Global Soccer Pathways, you have PSC FC Florida, you have FC Florida. Like Club De Leon, which plays in Orlando. Don't know what the hell De Leon is.
What's a day? What even is a De Leon?
What even is a De Leon?
It sounds like the
Lion?
last name. It's probably some maybe it's probably some Spanish conquistador's last name. You know,
Albuquerque.
and so it's just
that's one. Yeah.
And so it's just Michigan Rangers, Wisconsin Conquerors, FC Milwaukee. Like, I mean, not actually. No, that one's pretty good. But Ambassadors FC Ohio,
Ambassadors of Ohio. Wow.
Iowa Demon Hawks, like Minnesota Blizzard.
Iowa Demon Hawk sounds fire though.
I am so anti having your state in your club name for so many reasons. Because first, it just sounds stupid. Unless you're in like Delaware or Vermont or Wyoming, where there's only one metro.
Yeah.
And two, as you said, it makes you sound like an NPC. And these are the clubs that are trying to replace Lubbock, Laredo, Annapolis. I'm trying to think of some other real big hitters that have come over, but like all these, almost every good to great to awesome team that was in NPSL has left, and they've been replaced by either nothing burgers of UPSL teams or completely new teams that people are like, what the kind of name is that? What's Ristosi FC? Like that's somebody's last name.
See,
Yeah.
I think it's so funny because two of the teams he mentioned made it to the semifinals.
Yeah,
this
Ristosi
year.
and Michigan Rangers
and
yeah.
Ristosi both made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, I know they did, but like Michigan Rangers, where in Michigan?
And what are they ranging?
What do you,
You're not from New York or
Rangers
Texas. Why do you have Rangers in your name?
It's just it's bad. It's bad, and it sucks that NPSL is like this, and because USL 2 not having a competitor, I feel like will harm it in the long term. I feel like it will lead to more potentially of this kind of thing that they did with the Central Conference playoffs, where they said, "Hey, here's the format," and people are like, "Okay, cool, we understand it. Why the hell is Peoria City in there?" Again, this is no offense to Peoria City. Team's good, fans good, players good. You guys were just unfortunately the team that got favored due to a bullshit playoff format.
Yeah.
And you know, and if NPSL does, or if USL2 doesn't have a thing to go against it, like NPSL and TLFC, then I think that that's not going to be very good.
I mean, could you see USL2 going to an NPSL style where per division conference, whatever the name is, where they choose their own playoff format?
I don't because one of those things that changes that niche between NPSL and USL2 is the fact that USL2 is far more structured. USL2 is, here's the regular season format, here's the playoff format, here's the division you're in. We'll listen to you, but we make the final decision. NPSL was, okay, you guys want to have a 12-team conference and not two 6-team conferences? Have at it. Okay, you guys want to have six teams make playoffs in your 8-team conference? Sound good. You other people just want to have 3 people make playoffs in your 8-team conference? Sounds good. They would just kind of check off to make sure that the conference's schedule and the conference's playoff format kind of met basic regulations. USL2, it's a lot more corporate structured. It's a lot more headquarters says so you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And as much as I would like that, I don't really see it. The kind of the best I can really see is if USL2 gets that much more bigger, if USL2 pretty soon ends up with, 180, 190, 200 clubs, they might see about splitting it up and, having 8 regions instead of 4 or conferences. They might see about having, if it gets to this point where most of the divisions are these 8, 9, 10, 11 team behemoths, that they might have, okay, of this 10-team division, 4 of you make playoffs, have at it. The winner gets into the semifinals of the regional playoffs. That's kind of the best that I think that we're going to get, simply due to that corporate nature of USL2.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Chrissao, for the football talk. Now, we want to get your thoughts on some different football talk here. we're a Lubbock podcast. We have to talk about it. All right, College Game Day coming back here to Lubbock, first time since '08. Top 10 matchup against the Brigham Young Cougars. Number 7 in the CFP rankings. We're number 8 in the CFP rankings. First ever time. The Storm and Mormons. Yeah. It's not Mormons versus Mullets. It's not Catholics versus convicts. It's a third, more sinister thing. Alcoholics versus Dr. Pepper. I don't know. Dirty Dr. Pepper. I've got no clue. But it's going to be a banger matchup. We've got Raiderville. All the students are already camped out since Monday. They're camped out at the Jones AT&T Stadium. It's going to look like it's a banger matchup here. And by the way, MOZOS, if you're listening, our GM, our brand new GM, by the way, we just got a new GM and a new president. Dustin used to be our GM, is now our team president. And Thomas, which used to be the digital media coordinator / kind of everything else junior GM, is now the full GM. So Thomas, our brand new GM, has set out a challenge for 5 and potentially more lucky MOZOS. If you come to game day and you fly some Matadors flags, wear some Matadors gear the entire time from, I believe, 6 until they go inside the stadium at 10, you get your season tickets paid for. So
I will be doing it.
So yeah,
hey,
we might not see Caleb.
$125, like
we might not see Caleb at his own tailgate. So we'll see. I mean, I have people coming in, so I can't do it. But if you're a Mozo,
well, I told him I'm
going
to do like the big flags that they do, and then just have one of those, get myself on this camera, and then go to tailgate.
Yeah, that could work. I mean,
just enough, the bare minimum, to get my season ticket paid for.
Yeah, if you do a big flag, and I have to do a flag for Omega Strikers because they're paying me $50. So
we could just do it on one flagpole.
Yeah. So I've got my big extendable flagpole. I'll just bring both.
There we go.
There we go. Boom, easy. But yeah, if you're thinking about that, big matchup: undefeated versus 1 loss Texas Tech, undefeated BYU. Caleb, how nervous are you about this game?
Very.
I'm so nervous. I will throw up before the game, probably.
This will be the most Tech
it won't
thing
be alcohol
to
related,
just
just nervousness.
And just get destroyed.
Yeah, it would just be the most Texas Tech thing ever for that to happen. I mean, oh my gosh, please, we cannot lose that game. We cannot lose that game.
I feel like if we lose it and it's close, will save the embarrassment.
We're not the SEC. We're not the Big Ten. They're not gonna be like, oh, it was a quality loss. They're like, oh no, you lost. Get out of here. They're gonna kick us out of the top 10. We're not even gonna be making it into the playoffs, man.
But it would be the most.
We're going to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which isn't a bad thing. No. I would love to go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Dylan, me and you have to get married at the Pop-Tarts.
We have to get married at the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I want to get married at the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Chris. That's my dream wedding.
That's fair. That's
a dream wedding.
I mean, from my point of view, I mean, just I haven't been able to keep up this year as much as usual, but everything I've seen out of Texas Tech has just been y'all blowing somebody out of the water, except for that game that shall not be named.
Yeah.
It's just I mean, domination over teams that are good, teams that are bad. I mean, yeah, look, I've got the schedule pulled up now. 34-10 over a 7-2 Utah, 35-11 over a 7-2 Houston, 42-17 over a 5-4 Kansas. Just blowing people out of the water.
Yeah.
And I mean, 43-20 is that closest game other than the other one. And that was a 4-5 K-State that has been looking up over the past few years. So, I mean, it's I love it. I love to see it because, I mean, yes, I grew up a LSU fan, grew up SEC, all that, but at a certain point it gets tiring.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It really does. I don't think a team that's 5-4 should be in any sort of talk for the top 25. I don't. I don't care if those 5 teams are 5 teams that are in the top 25 and those 4 losses are all teams in the top 5. If you're 5-4, you're not a top 25 team.
Oh, no hypothetical wins for the SEC here.
No hypothetical wins for the SEC. I mean, I've seen people wanting to bring signs to this game day saying, like, the only good win Alabama has is against a bad Florida State team. Or like a loss. You know what I mean?
It's also something that I've had to see and go through as a fan of Southeastern. So long story short, I'm going to break it up like this. Missouri Valley football, Big Sky, that's your SEC and Big Ten.
Yep.
Then you have CAA, which is kind of that Big 12 ACC. And then the other one kind of changes. Right now, it's kind of UAC, which was the WAC.
Shout out Abilene Christian.
Harlington.
Christian.
Harlington. Well, they
had a whole thing.
They betrayed the Southland.
They had a whole
betrayed
thing.
the Southland. We don't like them.
Yeah.
We don't like
fair.
them.
That's fair. But the SLC is
There
cool.
were too many purple teams. There were too many purple teams anyway.
Fair enough.
We're happy to
fair
see them
enough.
gone. There was too many purple teams. It was like 5 or 6. It was too many. But yeah, the Southland is like a solid, like, MAC Sunbelt equivalent.
They're a fun
Like,
league to watch.
it's not
man.
really seen as that good, but like Southeastern's blown everybody out of the water. Like, I'm talking the closest game is a 14-point win where the fourth quarter started a 25-point lead, and you had like third strings in there the whole time.
Mhm.
And it ended up being a 14-point win. That's the closest game. 2 blowouts of over 38 points, or 2 blowouts of 0 to 38 or more. Just absolutely dominates everybody. And then they're like, yeah, but if they lose this weekend against Lamar, they're not even going to make the tournament. And
Again, how are we getting SEC in like every division of the sport?
Exactly.
Oh, the Missouri Valley Football Conference, they have like 10 or 11 teams playing. 7 or 8 of them are in the top 25.
Yeah, like Idaho is still up there. I think Idaho State's still up there. Shout out
I don't think
Eck,
Idaho's in the top 25 anymore. But like, yeah, it's just like there are 3 teams in the Missouri Valley Football Conference that aren't ranked. 3.
Mm-hmm.
3
3
that are not ranked. It is so stupid. I hate it so much. Doesn't matter what Southeastern does. All they're going to say is, yeah, but you didn't play anybody. That's our conference. What do you want us to do? Drive up to North Dakota?
Or you want us to be independent and play all the big teams in the Big Sky? And
it's
the
exact same thing that I see all the time with SEC Big 10 versus Big 12 and ACC. It's like, oh well, if Tennessee was in that conference, cool. Then Tennessee can join.
Cool. Let's see you join the Big 12. Can you do it? Can you win on a 11 a.m. kickoff in Lubbock, Texas? Because we had to go through that era of like 5 of our games were at 11 a.m. And as a student, it's like, no, I'm not going. I'm sorry, I'm not going to an 11 a.m. game.
I am full blown right now on the Texas Tech bandwagon. I want to see y'all, and I'm trying to think of who else is real good right now. I was hoping that we maybe would see with some Maximum Chaos 2G5 sneak in, but that sadly went to crap.
Yeah.
I mean, the only G5 I think that has
Memphis,
a chance right now is Memphis.
Memphis is the only one right now. They're not even in the top 25. But
Navy is currently leading that conference.
give me UNT. Give me the mean green. Bring them in. That'd be so much fun.
They got hammered by USF, and
I don't care. I don't care. They only have 1 loss. They only have 1 loss right now. Memphis loses, bang, they're right in there. If they win the AAC championship.
I want a military academy in the playoffs. I want to see if Alabama can do it against the triple option on a cold Wednesday night.
True.
Absolutely.
Give me an Air Force versus Alabama or something. That'd be insane.
Look, as somebody that's a fan of an FCS team, as somebody that has done plenty of Wikipedia deep dives on all sorts of things, the only NCAA tournament, even though technically they don't do the CFP, the Division I football championship goes to the FCS winner.
Yes.
Just putting that out there.
Yes.
Every other sport, every other level of football, if you win your conference, guess what? You make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you are some 8-22 SWAC team that has 6 Division I wins. If you are the 8th seed in your tournament, you win 3 or 4 games, you win your tournament, you make the big dance.
I think our playoffs should be the exact same thing. I think every Power 4 now, but every conference, if you win the CUSA, you play in the playoffs. And you see what happens.
Bring back the original SEC. Bring back the Southwest and Big 8 conference. Yeah. And just play it that way.
Play it that way. And then if you win, you're in. And then if you're in, and rename the first round to the play-in, because you're really just playing to play in the bowl games. Just call that one the play-in, and then now there's no.
Well, there's all those people.
No craziness about we didn't make the playoff.
There's all those people saying that the only the semifinals and finals should be bowl games. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with having it on campus. Just call it a bowl.
Call it a bowl.
Just
yeah.
call it a bowl.
Yeah. What would Lubbock's Bowl be?
Dust Bowl.
The Dust Bowl?
Dust
Who
Bowl.
who would it be sponsored
No, like
by?
it would be like sponsored. It would be like
Yeah,
sponsored.
what
Like
would
you
the
guys would
sponsor
get
be?
like it would be like the Independence Bowl, but like in Lubbock.
Yeah.
The Bucky's Bowl.
The Bucky's Bowl. Now, give me the Chimmy's Bowl. Give me the Crickets Bowl.
God, the Crickets Bowl.
Give me the Crickets Bowl. Brought to you by
bowls?
Double Eagle Energy.
Oh,
You know,
God.
give me the Cody Campbell Bowl.
I mean, I am full on steam right now with Texas Tech. I hope y'all win out because, yeah, it's just even because it's the Power 2, then it's Big 12, ACC, and then it's everybody else, and it sucks because in the top 10, I'm going to include Notre Dame in the Big 10 because they need to join a conference already.
Correct.
It's BYU and Texas Tech are the only ones not in the SEC and the Big 10, and then if we continue, UVA, Louisville, like
Miami
I mean,
isn't-
there's
Miami's
5
in there,
teams
but
in
yeah.
the top. There's 5 teams in the top 16.
Tennessee should not be at number 25.
that aren't.
Yeah.
Memphis should
Yeah,
be number
I mean,
25,
what-
not Tennessee. Why are you putting Tennessee? They have 3 losses. They're out. Get them out of there.
Yeah, it's so annoying and I hate it. It's also stupid to see these leagues with 8 or 9 conference games have 18 teams in their conference. It's
Yeah.
so stupid
The
and
math
it's so
doesn't
annoying.
math.
Doesn't work.
The fact that there is a possibility of like 5 or 6 teams finishing perfect, that should never happen.
Yeah.
That should never happen.
Ohio State
And-
is just giving served cupcakes, and then they play Michigan. They're going to lose against Michigan. Just mark my words. It's going to happen. It's happened the last 4 years. It's going to happen again. I'm sorry to all my friends at Ohio State who do listen to this podcast. Sorry, Kenneth. They're not winning this year, but they're still going to make the Big Ten championship. If they lose to Indiana, don't put them in, but they'll still get in anyway because they're defending national champions.
Oh,
It's
absolutely. What do
stupid.
you
It's
mean?
very dumb. It's
And
very dumb.
they'll get rewarded. They'll get rewarded for losing
Yes.
those 2 games because they'll get a home playoff game probably.
Yeah. All because they played
so
Northwestern
stupid.
and a bad Penn State and
It's so
Rutgers.
stupid and I hate it. Conferences should not be larger than 14 teams.
Mhm.
Every conference champion should get in. I don't think the MAC champion should be going and playing in a week 1 Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And sure. Every time a MAC team plays a Big 10 team, they get blown out by 3 scores. Guess what? I don't care. Put them in the playoffs. Let's see what happens that game.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, I don't want to see a whole bunch of playoffs. And yet I almost know that you probably get hyped about March Madness, don't
Yeah,
you?
you say I don't want to see so many teams in the CFP, but then and this is a real thing. You schedule your vasectomy for the first weekend of March Madness. Make it make sense, because the only time you're going to be able to sit for 4 days with an ice pack on something is when there's basketball from dawn till
now
dusk.
I need to know who got their vasectomy.
Oh, they
Like-
spike. They spike in March.
It's
this
a
is a
huge
real fact.
thing. It's just
I'm
March.
unfamiliar with
Because
this.
then you can get medical leave from your work, and it's not counted
Yeah.
towards sick
Fuck,
days.
they're cooking.
And-
I might have to.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
it's usually like
I mean, there's
40 or 50
people
year
that
old men.
schedule their kids' birth around it,
Mhm.
so that way they get paternity leave.
Yep.
For like they'll also include the conference championships in it, because in paternity leave you get like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
depending on what your what your company does.
Yeah.
And so they'll watch the 2 weeks of conference championships, then they'll watch the first week of March Madness, where they'll watch up to and including like the Sweet 16 or Elite
Mhm.
8. And then it's the Final Four. But if you're in the right workplace, everybody's going to be watching the Final Four.
Yeah.
Your bosses are going to be watching it. The people under you are going to be watching it. You might as well get in a conference room and watch
And-
it. So then they just schedule their kid's birth, and then
Yeah,
boom.
and then
it's
plus
crazy.
like during the I think only Sweet 16 you have some day games, but once you get to Elite 8, Final Four, National Championship, they're all in the evening. They're all after work anyway, unless you're on the West Coast. I think some of them start at 4. It's like, okay, well we'll start watching, but
But
first and
just
second rounds.
Don't live on the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just move. When I was
Central
working, yeah.
Central Standard Time. God's
Best time zone.
God's
Best time
time.
zone. EST people. Nope, can't say that. Can't say that.
We just
Oh,
get the
goodness.
loudest beep you've ever
Yeah,
heard.
Get out of here. Eat my shorts. I don't know. That's probably the best one. But Chrissao, thank you so much for coming in. Plug whatever you want to plug right here, right now.
All right. So on Twitter, I'm Chrissao. And then I am talking with parentheses, or not parentheses.
Apostrophe.
What's that thing? Thank you, apostrophe. That's that Louisiana education. Talking USL to you with the apostrophe. I don't have the apostrophe on my tags on Twitter and Blue Sky. And then, yeah, elimination charts are ELIMCharts, ELIM charts. So go follow me there. Elimination charts get really exciting whenever it's not the off season. So be sure to check up on there about halfway through the season and see it become colorful. And hopefully the Matadors get in green and make playoffs. But, all in all, the podcast will be dark for another long while. I'll pick it back up probably about February or something like that with some recaps of the new teams that are coming in. And once the season gets going, it's pretty much nonstop. Two podcasts a week. So, yeah.
Exactly. And final quick question. How dumb is it that the Ultra rebranded to Toronto Koi? Best branding in the league.
I get it.
Outside of Optic Texas.
I get it. Because Koi is a much bigger thing with a buy. As somebody that was a Splice fan way back in the day, Toronto Ultra was the last thing connecting Splice to existing. So I have no connection to anything Mad Lions, Koi, Movistar, really anything. I'm a free agent in terms of esports fandom.
There you go. I mean, Splice went from
went over my
Splice
head,
rebranded to Mad Lions, then to Movistar Koi, and then you had Toronto Defiant, Toronto Ultra in there, and now it's all just Koi. Just bring back Splice. Just bring back Splice. That's all I have to say.
Splice was fun. They got bought out. Splice got bought out by
Overactive
Mad
Media.
Lions in Overactive Media, which was Mad Lions, in order to then allow them to have Toronto Defiant and Toronto Ultra. Toronto Defiant closed with the OWL, and then
came back for OWCS for a bit, and then folded again.
Yeah, Koi Koi and Movistar merged, and then during that merge, Overactive Media also merged with them, and they liked Koi, so they're just all Koi.
Koi is all Koi.
It's a fun name. It's a cool name, but it's not Splice, and I want my snake back.
And Koi used to be Rogue as well, and that was a whole thing. And now they're part of Overactive Media, and Rogue is back to being Rogue. So much fun. It's so much fun. Well, thank you, Chris.
Esports is funky.
Esports is funky. I need to start another podcast for esports so that he doesn't have to look all
I was
confused.
this way. I thought this was a USL team. I had no idea who was, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
No, bro, it's Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
It is. Yeah, it's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, baby.
Call of Duty, League of Legends.
Big Battlefield guy.
Big Battlefield guy. Can't wait for that game to come out. That'll be a lot of fun.
It is out.
It is out?
It's been out for like a month. What are you doing?
I missed the memo. I'm stupid. I'm dumb.
I've been playing the fuck out of it.
Okay, well, good. Okay, I'll download it tonight. I'll go buy it. Thank you, Chris. Everybody go follow him over at Talkin USL to you and ElimCharts. And Caleb, any final words before we shut it down? We did a marathon today. It was 146, I want to say.
I think we've said enough.
We've said enough. Have a great night, everybody. Ruckum Tech. Let's go, Matadors. And we'll see you next time. Adios.